The silent Masionti city was dead. Gray towers leaned over cracked roads. Their windows black and empty. Ash drifted through the air like slow snow. Liam moved carefully between broken cars and twisted metal beams. He kept his rifle low and his steps light. He was used to missions. Alone. But this time, he was not alone. Ahead of him, a tall figure walked with quiet purpose. Her name was Celine. She was not human. Her long coat shifted around her legs as she moved. Her skin was pale with faint silver lines, almost like old scars. She never looked back to see if he followed. She did not need to. Liam knew she could hear every breath he took. They were supposed to find the old archives hidden in the city center. Command had sent them together because no one else dared go with her. They called her the hybrid, half soldier, half something else. For an hour, they moved in silence. Each street looked the same: burned walls, old blood, pieces of a war no one wanted to remember. Liam watched her limp grow worse with every step. At first, she hit it well. Now, she leaned on the wall every few meters. Still, she did not stop. He finally spoke, his voice low. "You're hurt." She kept walking. "No," she said without turning. He frowned. "Then why are you limping?" She paused at a corner, her hand braced on the cold stone, her head lowered for a moment, as if gathering strength. Liam stepped closer, close enough to see her shoulders shaking with each breath. "Celine," he said softly, "tell me." She raised her head slowly. Her golden eyes met his. They burned brighter than before. "No, human," she said in a voice that did not sound like her. "The beast inside is just waking up." His mouth went dry. "What does that mean?" he asked. Her jaw tightened. "It means you should leave me here," she whispered. "I'm not leaving you," he said quickly. Her gaze turned back to the empty street. "Then you may wish you had." She took another step forward, but stumbled. Liam caught her before she hit the ground. Her body was hot to hot. He could feel her heart racing through her thin shirt. She tried to pull away, but her strength was gone. "Don't touch me," she gasped. "You need help," he said firmly. "I need distance," she hissed. He held her steady anyway. "No," he said, "not until you tell me the truth." Her hands clenched in his sleeves. He could feel claws starting to form under her fingertips. "It is not safe," she whispered, her voice cracking. "I don't care," he said. Her head lifted again. Her eyes were bright gold, glowing like fire in the gray light. "Why?" she demanded. He swallowed. "Because I don't leave people behind," he said. Something in her face softened. Just for a moment. Then her body tensed again. She looked past him, her gaze sharpening. "They're coming," she said in a voice that was both hers and something darker. Liam turned. Down the street, 3 dark shapes moved between the cars. Scavengers armed and desperate. He raised his rifle, his heart steady. "Then we fight," he said. Celine's lips curved in a strange, sad smile. "No," she whispered. "Then I change." The old secret. Liam aimed his rifle at the shapes moving in the street. The scavengers were getting closer. He could see their weapons glinting in the weak light. Beside him, Celine knelt on one knee, her head bowed. Her breath came in rough gasps. He glanced down and saw her hands. Her nails were longer now, sharp like claws. Her skin glowed faintly, silver lines pulsing with each heartbeat. He swallowed hard. "Celine," he whispered. "What's happening to you?" She did not look up. Her voice came soft and strained. "I told you," she said. "The beast is waking." He kept his rifle steady, but his mind raced. "What does that mean?" he asked. "It means," she said, her tone flat, "I was made to survive." He frowned. "Made?" Her golden eyes lifted to his, bright and inhuman. "I was not born," she whispered. The scavengers were only 50 meters away now, moving in a line. Liam risked a quick look back. "Celine, we need to move," he said. She shook her head. "I can't," she said. He reached for her arm. "You have to," he insisted. Her hand shot out and caught his wrist in a grip like iron. "If I stand," she said quietly, "I will lose control." He stared at her. "Lose control of what?" Her fingers dug into his sleeve. "Of me," she whispered. He felt her trembling under his hand, not with fear but with something older and darker. She drew a ragged breath. "Long ago, before your people ever came here," she said, "my kind were built in hidden labs." He listened as she spoke. Her words came slow, as if they hurt to say. "We were weapons," she said. "Half flesh, half machine. A project no one dared finish, Liam swallowed. And the beast? The last defense, she said. The first scavenger raised a rifle and called out, "Drop your weapons." Liam ignored him. His heart hammered as he looked at Celine. "Can you control it?" he asked. She closed her eyes. Sometimes, she whispered. Her voice was thinner now, like she was fighting something inside. "I don't want to hurt you," she said. "You won't," he told her. She opened her eyes, and they glowed brighter. "You can't know that," she breathed. The scavengers started to fan out, taking cover behind a burned-out vehicle. "This is your last warning," the leader shouted. Liam gritted his teeth. He could not fight them alone. He looked down at Celine. Her hands shook as the silver lines along her skin pulsed faster. "You have to trust me," he said. Her gaze locked on his. "No one has ever said that to me," she whispered. The first shot cracked across the street. A bullet struck the wall just above Liam's head. He ducked low and fired back once, forcing the scavenger into cover. "Celine," he called over the gunfire, "listen to me." Her body shivered all over. "I can't." "Yes, you can," he said firmly. She raised her head. Her voice was a low growl now. "If I stand," she said, "you will see what I am." He reached out and touched her shoulder. "Then show me," he said softly. Her golden eyes flared wide. The glow spread across her face, down her arms. For a moment, she looked almost like fire. "Don't look away," she whispered. He didn't. He held her gaze as her voice dropped into something deep and fierce. "I was made to end wars," she said. Then she rose to her feet in one smooth, terrifying motion. And Liam knew the scavengers had no idea what was coming for them. The first transformation street felt smaller as Celine stood up. Her shadow stretched across the cracked road, long and strange in the pale light. Liam watched her body change in front of him. Her hands were no longer hands. Her fingers stretched and curved, turning into long black claws. The silver lines on her skin glowed brighter, pulsing with every breath she took. He wanted to step back. Some part of his mind screamed that she was dangerous. But he stayed where he was. Celine lifted her head. Her golden eyes locked on the scavengers hiding behind the burned vehicle. Her voice came low and rough. "Leave," she called. They did not answer. The leader shouted something Liam couldn't hear. He thought it was a threat, but he didn't care. He was watching Celine, trying to see if she was still herself. Her chest rose and fell in quick, sharp breaths. She stepped forward once, and the earth under her foot cracked. The scavengers opened fire. Bullets whined past Liam's head. He threw himself behind a broken pillar, heart pounding. Celine did not move. The bullet struck her armor and ricocheted away in sparks. One round hit her shoulder. She didn't even flinch. Her voice came again, deeper than before. "You were warned," she said. The leader tried to reload. He never finished. Celine moved. One instant she stood still. The next, she was among them. Her claws swept out in a blur. Metal and flesh broke with the same ease. Liam looked away, pressing his back to the stone. He forced himself to breathe slow, to remember she was not attacking him, even if everything in him said to run. The fight lasted less than a minute. When the noise stopped, he opened his eyes. Celine stood alone in the street. The scavengers lay around her, silent and broken. Her shoulders lifted and fell in heavy breaths. Slowly, she turned to face him. Her eyes still glowed gold. Her claws dripped red, but she did not come closer. He swallowed hard and stepped out from cover. "Celine," he said carefully, "can you hear me?" She did not speak. Her head tilted slightly, studying him like he was something she couldn't quite name. He tried again. "It's over," he said. Her lips parted. Her voice came ragged. "No," she whispered. "It is never over." He walked slowly to her side. Every step felt like it might be his last. But she did not lift her claws. She only watched him, her eyes bright and strange. He stopped a few feet away. "You stopped," he said quietly. She blinked. "I don't understand," she said. Her claws flexed once, then slowly began to shrink. The silver lines faded. Her skin turned pale again. She shivered all over, like the cold had finally found her. Liam reached out his hand. "Come here," he said softly. She looked at his palm, confusion on her face. "Why?" she whispered. "Because you're still you," he said. She closed her eyes. Her breath came in a long, shaking sigh. Then, with slow steps, she crossed the space between them. She pressed her forehead to his shoulder. He felt her body tremble. "I'm sorry," she whispered. He touched her hair gently. Don't be, he said. And in that moment, he knew he had never been more afraid or more certain that he would never leave her behind. The hidden hearth morning sun climbed higher over the ruined city. Light touched the broken walls and the silent street. Liam stood still, holding Celine against his chest. Her breathing was ragged and uneven. Her claws were gone, but her skin still glowed with faint silver lines. She did not lift her head. He felt her shoulders shake as if she was crying, but no sound came. After a long time, she pulled back. Her golden eyes were dull now, tired and full of something he could not name. I should have let you run, she whispered. He shook his head slowly. I told you, he said. I don't leave people behind. Her lips curved in a sad smile. I am not people, she said softly. He reached up and touched the side of her face. You are to me, he said. She looked away, blinking fast. You saw what I am, she said, her voice shaking. I saw what you did, he corrected. Her jaw tightened. I killed them, she said. They were going to kill us, he said calmly. Her hands clenched at her sides. You don't understand, she whispered. Then help me, he said. She lifted her gaze to his. There is a part of me, she said slowly, that does not care who it hurts. When I let it out, it feels free. He nodded, listening. I hate it, she went on, but it is always there, waiting. Her breath came rough again. What if next time? I can't stop. He searched her eyes. Seeing the fear there, then I'll be here to remind you, he said softly. She looked stunned. Why? She whispered. Because you deserve that, he said. Her mouth trembled. No one has ever said that to me, she breathed. Maybe no one was brave enough, he said. For a moment, they just stood there, the silence deep around them. Then she turned away, wiping her eyes with the back of her hand. We have to keep moving, she said, her voice steadier. Where? He asked. The old lab, she said. It's not far. That's where they made me. He frowned. What's there? She swallowed hard. Answers, she said. Maybe a cure. He studied her face. Do you want to be cured? He asked gently. She closed her eyes. I don't know, she admitted. He took her hand in his. Then let's find out together, he said. Her fingers tightened on his for the first time. She did not pull away. Together, she echoed. They started walking again, leaving the dead street behind. The city seemed less empty now, though Liam knew it hadn't changed. It was Celine who was different, and maybe, he thought, so was he. As they walked side by side, he felt something growing between them. Something stronger than fear. Trust. When the sun reached the highest point, they stopped to rest in the shade of a tall building. Celine sat on a broken step, her eyes closed. Liam watched her quietly. You're tired, he said. I'm always tired, she murmured. He sat down beside her. You don't have to be alone in this, he said. She turned her head, studying his face with an expression he couldn't read. Maybe, she whispered. And though she did not say more, he knew she had hurt him. The bone-grossed rest in the shade did not last long. Celine opened her eyes after only a few minutes. Her golden gaze was clearer now, though tired. She stood slowly, testing her balance. Liam watched her, ready to help if she fell. But she didn't. She straightened her back and looked at him. We should keep going, she said. He nodded. Are you sure you can? I have to, she said simply. They left the building and moved down a narrow alley between the tall walls. Moss grew thick over cracked tiles. Old signs hung broken over sealed doors. Celine walked ahead, her steps careful. Her voice was quiet. When she spoke, it's strange, she said. What is? He asked. Being with someone who doesn't look at me like I'm a monster. He swallowed, then said, You're not. She didn't answer, but she didn't disagree either. After an hour, they reached a wide plaza. In the center stood a low building half buried under fallen stone. A broken sign still hung over the entrance, though he could not read the old language. He knew what this place was. The lab, he said. Celine nodded slowly. Her hands clenched at her sides. This is where they made us, she whispered. Us? He asked. There were more, she said. Her. I stayed on the door. I was the only one who survived. He stepped to her side. You don't have to go in alone, he said. She turned her head, studying him. Why are you here, really? She asked softly. He frowned. What do you mean? You were sent to find the archives, she said. Data doesn't matter anymore, he told her. She looked away. You could leave, she said. I won't, he said. Her voice came small. Why? He took a breath. Because I think you need someone who stays, he said. She closed her eyes, her shoulders tight. I don't know if I could be what you think I am, she whispered. You don't have to be, he said gently. Her mouth trembled. I don't even know who I am, she said. He reached out and took her hand. Then let's find out, he said. Her eyes opened, and for the first time, he saw hope there. They stepped together into the broken doorway. Inside, the lab was dark and cold. Dust coated every surface. Glass tanks lined the walls, cracked and empty. Old lights flickered as they passed. Celine moved slow, her gaze scanning each corner. I was born here, she said quietly. In one of those, he asked. She nodded. I remember the lights first, she said, then the voices. Her hand lifted to touch the glass of one broken tank. I thought they were gods, she whispered. Liam felt something heavy in his chest. And now? He asked. She looked at him. Now I think they were afraid, she said. He nodded slowly. Maybe they were, he said. They reached a door marked with a faded red symbol. Celine rested her palm against the panel. To his surprise, the lock clicked open. Inside was a small room lined with old screens and files. She stepped over the threshold and turned to face him. This is where they kept the records, she said. Do you want to see them? He asked. Her golden eyes met his. Yes, she said. He took a step closer. And after? He asked softly. She drew a slow breath. After, she whispered, maybe I will know if I can ever be free. He reached for her hand again. Whatever you find, he said. I'm here. Her fingers closed around his. Together, she said. And for the first time, she sounded sure. The final rage of the old records room was dark except for a single screen, still glowing weakly. Dust drifted in the air, shining in the blue light. Celine stepped closer to the console. Her fingers hovered over the cracked keys. Liam watched her carefully. He could feel her tension like a storm waiting to break. She pressed a button. The screen flickered, then showed a line of words in the old language. She read them slowly, her voice quiet. Project Arclight, Subject 13. She swallowed hard. That's me. He stepped to her side. What does it say? He asked. Her eyes stayed on the screen. Designed for infiltration, she whispered. Engineered resilience. Enhanced combat response. Her breath caught. Failsafe protocol. Final transformation. What does that mean? He asked gently. She turned to face him, her golden eyes shining bright. It means if I lose control completely, I don't come back, she said. Her voice shook. I become something that can't be stopped. He felt his chest tighten. You won't, he said softly. Her hands clenched at her sides. You don't know that, she whispered. He reached out, resting his palm over her fist. I believe it, he said. Her eyes closed. Liam, she breathed. I'm scared. Me too, he admitted. For a moment, the quiet felt almost peaceful. But then a crash echoed through the lab. They both turned sharply. The door behind them burst open. Four armored figures stepped inside, weapons ready. Liam pulled Celine behind him. He knew those uniforms, private hunters hired by the old corporations. The lead hunter raised a pulse rifle. Step away from the asset, he ordered. Liam didn't move. She's not your property, he said. The hunter's voice was flat. She's dangerous. Last chance. Celine's breathing turned rough again. He felt her tremble behind him. Don't, he whispered over his shoulder. Her voice came low and cracked. I can't stop it, she gasped. The glow spread across her skin, brighter than before. The hunter stepped closer. Restrain her, the leader ordered. Celine shuddered, her eyes wide with fear. Liam, look at me, he said quickly. She did. Her gaze locked on his. Desperate. Fight it, he said. Her claws began to form again. Her voice broke. I'm trying, she whispered. The hunters raised their rifles. Liam stepped closer, pressing his hand to her cheek. I believe in you, he said softly. She let out a sob. I don't, she said. Then believe in me, he whispered. The hunters fired. Blue stun rounds cracked through the air. Liam threw himself in front of her, but the shots never struck him. Celine moved faster than thought. Her claws swept out, striking the rounds aside. She lunged forward, her body changing. The hunter screamed as she tore through them in a blur of motion. Liam watched, his heart heavy. He knew she was fighting to stay herself, and he knew she was losing. The last hunter fell silent. Celine stood over them, her breath ragged. Her claws dripped red dot, her golden eyes locked on Liam. And for a moment he did not see Celine. He saw the beast. She took a step toward him. He didn't move. "It's me," he said quietly, her claws lifted. "Please," she gasped, her voice layered with something dark. "In me." He shook his head, tears in his eyes. "I won't," he whispered. "You are still you." She fell to her knees, her hands pressed to the floor. The glow faded little by little. When she finally looked up, her eyes were wet. "I don't want to be this," she whispered. He crouched in front of her, resting his forehead against hers. "You don't have to be," he said, and together, in the silence after violence, she began to believe him. The dawn of Choice's lab was silent. Dust floated in the pale light coming through a broken window. Celine stayed on her knees, her hands flat on the cold floor. Her breath came slow now. Her claws were gone. Her skin no longer glowed. She looked small, almost fragile. Liam did not leave her side. He knelt with one hand resting lightly on her shoulder. After a while, she raised her head. Her golden eyes met his. "You should have ended it," she whispered. "No," he said softly. Her mouth trembled. "I asked you to." "I know," he said. He touched her cheek, brushing away a tear. "But I also knew you didn't mean it." She closed her eyes, her voice shaking. "What if it happens again?" He took a deep breath. "Then we face it," he said, together. Her eyes open. "You can't promise that," she said. He nodded. Double quotes, "Maybe not," he admitted. "But I can promise I won't leave you." Her throat moved as she swallowed. She looked past him to the bodies of the hunters. "I killed them," she whispered. "They came to hurt you," he said. Her hands clenched on her knees. "I didn't have to be this," she said. He leaned closer. "Maybe not," he said gently, "but you are more than what they made." Her gaze turned back to him, searching his face for something. "How can you look at me and not see a monster?" she asked. He held her eyes steady. "Because I see you," he said. "Not just the beast, not the weapon. You." A quiet fill the room, deep and soft. She drew a shaky breath. "You shouldn't trust me," she whispered. "Maybe," he said. "But I do." Her lips parted, but no words came. Finally, she reached up and closed her hand over his. Her touch was warm. Steady. They stood together, moving slow. She looked around the old lab, the place that had made her and broken her. "I don't want to stay here," she said quietly. "Then we leave," he said. Her gaze lifted to the broken door. "Where will we go?" "Anywhere," he said, "as long as you're there." Her throat tightened. "Why?" He smiled just a little. "Because you saved me, too," he said. She looked confused. "I don't understand," she said. "Before you," he said, "I didn't believe people could change." He took her hand, lacing his fingers with hers. "Now, I do." Her eyes filled with tears. She blinked them away. "Liam," she whispered, "I'm afraid." "Me too," he said, "but we'll figure it out." The sun rose higher, touching her face with soft light. In that moment, she looked less like a weapon and more like a person who had never been given a choice. She turned toward the doorway, her hand still in his. "Let's go," she said. He nodded. Together, they stepped into the light. For the first time in her life, Celine felt something she had never dared to hope for. Freedom. In the golden morning, they walked away from the past, two survivors, choosing to believe in something stronger than fear.